I'm a German pointer, and welcome to Let's Paws. No, not that kind of pause. That pause.
Hello, and well, welcome to Let's Paws, and today we have 1, 2, 3 paws and some humans to go along with them. So I'd like to introduce my guest today, and we'll start right over here. And introduce yourself and your four-legged friend.
My name is Dora Throckmorton, and this is my Gracie, and she's a husky mix, and she's about 8.5 years old.
Well, welcome.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Barbara Roan, and this is Penny. Penny is 5 years old, and she's a poodle mix.
Okay.
And my name is Jon Constantine, and this is my baby bear, and he's about 3.5, going on 4, and he is a lab, full breed lab, as far as I know.
And the reason I have you on today, all of you, you're dog owners, and we're going to talk about what it's like to own a dog, even though I have one, and I know sometimes it can be very exasperating when they don't do what you want to do, but they have minds of their own. And so you guys have, and I understand you have 2 dogs.
I do. Yes, I do.
And where'd you get your dogs from?
Well, Gracie came from the Humane Society, and my newest dog is just over a year old, Sammy, and he is also a husky mix. And I got him from the Animal Resource Center about 2.5 months ago.
And that's where we like to get dogs from, because there's so many dogs that need good homes. And I think it would be wonderful if everybody went to either the Humane Society, the Animal Resource Center, or SIXA to pick out their dogs. And Barbara, what's the story on yours?
Well, now that you pointed that out, I got my dog off Craigslist.
Okay.
But she's a good dog. When you say that they're exasperating, that is certainly true. I found that dogs need to be on a very precise schedule. And I am not good at keeping to a schedule, but boy, if you don't take your dog out on time, you'll be sorry. So I think she's been good for me in that I have to get up and get moving sometimes, whether I feel like it or not.
Yeah. Okay, John. Okay, John, tell us about Bear and how you wound up with Bear.
Well, I was able to get in touch with an old friend of mine that I went to elementary school with on Facebook, and we were just we were talking about our animals. We already have another lab, Jake, at home, and we were looking to maybe find a brother for him. And she had mentioned that her son's dog had some puppies, and this guy was being locked up in a cage all day long. Nobody was home to take care of him, and so she was all the way in New Jersey, and we drove all the way in New Jersey to pick him up. And well, we were taking a vacation, but we killed, I guess I could say, killed 2 birds with 1 stone in that vacation, and packed up the car and made some room for him in the back seat, and brought him all the way back from New Jersey.
New Jersey, so he's a New Jersey boy.
He's a Jersey boy,
yeah.
yep. Just like his daddy. That's where I'm from.
There you go.
Yeah.
But let me ask you, and any of you can answer. What do you get out of owning a dog? Is it fun? Is it exasperating? Is it what's the for people that really don't have dogs or cats or anything else? What do you get out of it personally?
Love, companionship, friendship, and just like I guess anything with any animal, any pet, but dogs in particular. I just happen to be a dog person more so than a cat person. I just love being around them. I love the love and the warmth that they bring to my life, the joy that they bring to my life, and the companionship. I mean, that's, you know, don't mean to sound repetitive, but
I think that's why most people, that it is.
I've had a dog. My family, I grew up, and my dad was a big dog lover, and I learned from him, I suppose, or I inherited it from him. And I've had a dog since I was a kid. I don't know any other life.
Any other life?
Yep.
Yeah, that's Barb. What do you think?
Yeah, same thing. Definitely love, and they're always happy to see you. Your dog is never in a bad mood, and you can be.
Even when you scold them.
That's right. They forgive you immediately. Yeah.
Of course, you look into those big eyes, and they're going to say, "Oh, how could I have yelled at my poor dog?" And
well, my other dog, I found out that he likes vegetables. He's been eating the peppers off my plants. First, I thought he was playing with them, until I actually saw him eating them. So I was and still am very angry at him when he does it, but I can't stay mad at him for too long because he's just too cute. So he's just sweet. He just looks at you, and then he barks at me. It's like he's like a kid. He talks back. It's funny. So you can't get mad at him, and you can't stay mad at him. No, you can't stay mad at him. Nope. Hi, Gracie.
yeah,
Gracie is trying to tolerate him.
You look at that face, and now both of you, as I said, you own 2 dogs, and pretty good sized dogs, I guess, both of you. And how do you handle 2 big dogs like that? Is it harder than if you had a small one and a large one, or 2 large ones, or?
Well, I think one of the things that I wanted to touch base on is they're just like kids. They're like big kids. So it's just like handling 2 big kids at home. They're so human in so many ways. They dream like we do. This guy jumps up on the couch and he rearranges the pillows. And next thing I turn away and I look over and he's got his head laying on the pillow just like we would be doing. And so it's really hard not to treat them just like a kid and love them and respect them and take care of them just like you would, like they were your own child.
It's fun. I enjoy. This morning, Hershey, my dachshund, got me up at 4 o'clock this morning and decided
4 in the morning?
4 in the morning, and I
That's
like
when
to,
you.
yeah, I
like, please.
wasn't too thrilled. And Hershey has a habit when he needs to go out, his rear end just moves, and he gives a little bit of a, hey, let me out, I got to go out. So we got up early this morning and let him out. He was out for about 10 seconds and walked back in, and that was it. Jumped on the bed and went to sleep. But I didn't get angry, but I said, oh, come on, wake me up this early. So, but he, as I said, he had to go, and I think that's, in certain ways, I don't mind during the summer. Now, during the winter, it's a whole different world, getting up that early and letting him out. But as I said, he's been a pretty good dog with that.
So then you need dogs that have a nice heavy coat that they're always wanting to go outside. I can't hardly bring mine in. I mean, they love being outside.
They love being outside.
Oh yeah, they love being outside.
Not my dog. She's an inside dog. She's very much a lap dog.
Oh.
A spoiled little lap dog. No.
Barb, do you think that the size of a dog makes a difference in whether they are more outdoorsy than indoors?
You know, I haven't figured out if it's the size of the dog or the way that you treat a smaller dog, because people, I think, treat smaller dogs more like babies than big dogs. So I haven't quite figured that out.
So would you say how heavy was she?
7 pounds. Yeah.
Well, I had a dog just before I got Sammy. He just went to heaven in May, and I had him for 12 and a half years, and he was a Spitz. He was about 20 to 22 pounds. But nothing that small. I think what I like about, to get back to your question, Harry, is that I like bigger dogs, and no reflection on your dog, but I like bigger dogs because I want to be able to see them. I think they're easier. I mean, our friend has Yorkies, and you know, you're walking and all of a sudden they get right in your feet and then
Me
they
too.
then they
It's true.
tangle you up. And so
very
one of the things that I think that I like about them is I like a dog. I like to be able to hug a dog, and nothing against little ones, but the little ones, I tripped over those dogs, and then you feel like you're playing football, like you've just kicked them across the room. You didn't mean to, but it happens.
Yeah.
So I think with the bigger dog, I think because there's no chance of you missing them, seeing them, that they're right there.
You definitely can see with these two. I mean,
You can still trip over them at night
Well,
in
that's
the
true.
dark.
That's true. You can.
And they always tend to lay right in where you have to walk.
Yeah.
You know.
Well,
But,
I'm really very lucky
But,
because
yeah.
I just walked through the house, and if this one's laying in the way, she just gets up and
She
moves.
gets up and
The new one is learning. The new one is learning, but this one, she just gets up and moves. So
now, do any of you? I know this is a hard question. Have why you a negative aspect of owning a dog, besides getting up in the
cost.
morning?
Cost.
Cost. Okay.
This one just recently got diagnosed with allergies, so we're experiencing a lot of vet visits and a lot of money, and it's a cost thing. So, it's, I didn't anticipate it. She showed no signs of it, but believe it or not, after my other dog passed, I started taking her for walks. Unbeknownst to me, she's allergic to everything under the sun, and so I unknowingly exposed her to all these allergens, and things started, she started getting little rashes on her feet and stuff, and so the cost is so the bottom line is, if you can't afford to keep them, then you shouldn't have them.
Right,
You shouldn't
right.
have them.
Yeah.
And I also think too that your environment, your living environment, and your personality really kind of dictates the type of dog that you should get. Because if you can't, I mean, it's really unfair to an animal to coop them up like a big dog. If you were stuck in an apartment and you couldn't walk them or give them proper exercise, et cetera, I think it's really unfair to them.
Yeah, I think you're right, the exercise part. In fact, when I got Hershey, I love to walk anyway, and I walk Hershey during the summer only, at least 4 times a day. And being a dachshund,
Boy, you're energetic.
Yeah.
oh yeah, I
walk that
like to.
much, yeah.
I definitely walk him a lot. He knows all the neighbors' dogs. All the neighbors know him. And it's interesting getting together. But now during the winter, it's a whole different story. If he gets 2 walks a day, he's lucky. Most of the time, it's go in the backyard, do your thing, because it's 12 degrees out. So but he, it's fun. As I said, I love to walk, and he. The only trouble with him, and I think most dogs, is they have to stop and sniff.
Well, I got to mention something. Our vet said that I was telling her I call them sniffs. I don't call them walks, because I stop and I allow them to sniff, because that's their way to communicate.
That's their way, right.
And so it's so funny you were talking about, you mentioned that your dog knows all the dogs in the neighborhood. Mine know where that dogs live in the neighborhood that react to them, and mine don't bark at them, but they start to cry. But it's a sniff, and the vet said there's 2 kinds of walks that people go on, and one is more for the human than they do for the animal, and the other one is for soul. It's like a soul therapy. And so, I don't mind, they sniff, they stop at and it's so funny because we go around one block or we'll go around another block, and they have certain little bushes, trees that they all stop
Exactly.
at.
Always the same
Yeah,
spots.
yeah.
Yep.
So that's their form of communication. So,
Yeah, right.
don't go if you're in a hurry. Don't go. I mean, it's because I think we're taking them for a walk for them, not for me.
It's true.
And that's the way I look at it anyway.
I can see Bear
puppy
probably
killer.
likes to walk.
Yeah.
Oh, he doesn't like to walk. He likes to run.
Okay.
He,
Well,
Is one arm longer than the other, John?
Yes, as a matter of fact. Actually, I walk them both together, and they both like to pull on my arm, so they're probably a few inches longer than
a
they
few inches long.
would be.
Right, Bear?
Bear.
See, Bear is
Hey.
saying, I'm not paying attention to you. There's too
Sit-
many other
sit
things
down.
to pay
Sit-
attention to.
He,
Oh, why can't
when
Hershey
you
do
say the
that?
word walk, see,
Oh.
Yeah, it's a good thing I already took you today.
Oh.
But
Seems very
he gets so excited, and just, you know, it's like telling a child you're taking them to Disneyland.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly, exactly.
They know what the leash is, you know, and they're just like I said, they're so much like a human being, and I can't imagine not treating them just like, you know, like one.
Well, and I love that they all have different personalities.
Oh, definitely.
I
They
mean,
do,
you
yeah.
know, it just
You
slays.
can see that just with these 3 dogs
Yeah.
in front of us, how different they each are.
Yeah.
That you know, that their personalities and facial expressions is just funny, and they understand exactly what you, when you're saying something, they don't necessarily, I think, know what the word is. They know the tone of voice.
Definitely.
And I keep my dog's leashes and an extra set of keys to the house by the back door. And when I grab them, or no, when I put my shoes on, they know. They both get excited. They go to the door. I don't even have to pick up the leash. But as soon as I pick up the leash, it's, oh my gosh, you know, they're all excited, and but they're really, really good. And when they walk together, and I took Sammy out for the first night I brought him home. We went out on our first walk, and it wasn't exemplary, but he's a work in progress.
Well, that's
Yeah.
that's
So-
the fun part, right? Yeah. Oh, now you're looking at something there.
Yeah.
And Bear is just hi. You want to
He's-
you want me? Come here.
He is. You mentioned how their expressions and how they. He has turned his head in ways that are just so adorable. I guess the only word is adorable. You know, he just looks at you like these big brown eyes, puppy eyes, like they say, and turns his head sideways when you ask him a question, or you know, you almost wish they could talk. Just to know what they're thinking, you know, wonder what, you know.
Sometimes you wish they didn't.
Well,
You're glad they didn't.
Yeah, I know Hershey has a habit. He does it once in a while.
Good girl.
I like to read before I go to sleep in bed, and Hershey will jump up and just sit on my chest and look at me. And I'm trying to figure out, what does he want? And he'll just look, and I know what he wants. He wants a scratch, and so I will give him a scratch. And he loves belly rubs. I don't know if these guys love belly rubs or not, but he loves his belly rubs. And what would you say if someone was looking for a dog? What advice, as dog owners, advice would you give them if they're just looking, if they want a big
Like
dog,
I said
a little
earlier,
dog, or
I really think that your personality, your energy level, if you are somebody that either one has a lot of energy or very athletic, you know, maybe you want a dog that's, you know, that needs more exercise, that can benefit from your exercise. Also, too, I think your living arrangements. I mean, if you have, you know, if you have a small house or a small apartment and you have a big Great Dane, you know, or something. I just think that, you know, you kind of need to look at the personality, your personality, because, you know, animal
and
breeds.
your lifestyle.
Yeah, your lifestyle. Because I think animal breeds, I think people agree that the animal breeds have certain personalities or certain
absolutely.
behaviors.
Right.
And so once you determine that, I think that's a big step toward finding the pet that you need. But of course, sometimes connection. You know, you meet a dog and you may be looking for one type of dog, and you make a connection with the dog, and then you're done. You know.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you definitely. You
Yeah.
almost have to. I've known people that I cannot understand why they have a certain type of dog. We have a friend that has a big German Shepherd, and sometimes I feel sorry for the dog because they never take him for walks. And I figure if you have a big dog, he has, as you said, lots of energy.
Right, right.
And even though Hershey is not a big dog, he does have energy. And I don't know about Penny there.
No,
She's almost sound asleep. She knows the show, so you know she's.
This is why she's a good dog for me.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I think sometimes you know, we owe it as pet owners. You know, it's our choice to have a pet, and I think it's our responsibility as a pet owner to provide for them physically, obviously financially, but also too emotionally and spiritually. And I don't mean that in a spiritual sense. I'm just meaning that you have to look at their mental health as well. She grieved with me along with the loss of my other dog, and so I had to think about not just her physical needs but her mental needs and her emotional needs. And I think that you have to look at that as a whole picture. And I think as a pet owner, it's your responsibility to provide, obviously, food, shelter, and health care, but also to the love and nurturing. And I know all of us we're dog lovers to the core. So, but not everybody is. I mean,
No,
not everybody. They keep their dogs outside or do whatever. That's unfortunate for the dog.
It definitely is. I know some people like, cats. And I gotta admit, I like cats, but I always tell people I like an animal that comes up to you and says, hey, I love you, and I haven't seen a cat yet that would do that. There may be some cats that will do that, but a dog, you can definitely tell. As you said, when you walk in right away, hey, I'm glad you're home. But it takes a certain person to, I think you're right, definitely. It takes someone to, if you want a dog, you have to make up your mind what kind. Again, some people prefer the big dogs like Bear. Yeah, I'm talking about you.
It's because it's cost. I mean, bigger dogs, they eat more food.
Right.
And so they're so they're just. But as a point, I have people that live behind me, and I know they like the dog, but anyway, it's a poor little beagle, and beagles, they have a lot of energy to begin with. They need physical. That's a dog that needs physical activity, and this poor dog is locked up in an enclosure within a fenced-in yard, and this dog is never let to run loose in the backyard. And I think to myself, that poor dog. Why do you have a dog if it doesn't get any interaction with any humans other than letting it in the crate, into the enclosure or not? And it's just really sad. And every time I see that dog, I just really get sad because that poor puppy dog needs something. It needs, and it can't even run because it's in the enclosure. Is like
why do you
have
a dog?
it? Right. That's the way I look at it. And so. Again, it's why if you're not going to attend to all those things, somebody broke in your house while the dog's out in the enclosure, it's not going to help you any. So there you go.
I think the key thing is we've all mentioned it, the word love. I like cats, but I love dogs.
There you go.
And they love us. All they want to do is love you, and all they want is love back. And the more you love a dog, the more love you get from it.
True.
And
True.
I think it's important. We talked about what type of dog that people own. I think children are a big factor. Maybe not a big factor, but are somewhat of a factor. They should do some research if they have little children in the house or babies. If they want a dog, I don't. And then the breed, different. Different breeds. Obviously we're all aware of pit bulls having a bad name, and Rottweilers because what we see on TV. And the bottom line is a dog, a pit bull and a Rottweiler, along with any dog, they're smart. And the more love and attention you give it and treat it right, it's going to treat people right.
Definitely.
Love and respect.
Yep.
If they're treated, it's one thing to treat a human, another person with respect, but you have to treat an animal with respect too, and that's where, and they get it, they understand it. I mean, they know it. They really do understand that, and they sense it. They also sense fairness and unfairness too. In a home when you have multiple animals, like you have 2 dogs and I have 2. Don't show favoritism. They both get fed at the same time. So you don't breed that thing. But the other thing I think that we like about dogs is that I think we're outgoing like dogs are. I think dogs are outgoing, and where cat I won't say cat people. Sorry.
You're allowed.
Sorry.
What the heck?
I
It's a
just,
dog show, right?
yeah,
It's a dog show, but we have
So,
cats. We've
I
had cats
think
on the
that-
show, so
you know, dogs by nature are very gregarious, and so I've never been called a wallflower. So I've had dogs.
Yeah,
It just fits my personality.
as I said, I've never had a cat, so I'm
Right.
speaking out of turn. I've never had a cat, so as I said, the cats I have met, I will talk to them and say, oh, and a cute little kitty, and come here, little kitty, and the cat will look at me and say, I don't want anything to do with you, goodbye. Where a dog usually, unless they're, don't like you or something, will say,
Feeling well or something.
I would love to play with you. Come on over, and usually I do. And but no, it's interesting just how people react to dogs and how I know Barb and I both volunteer at Children's Hospital, and when they bring the dogs to the kids, it's
Therapy dogs?
the therapy dogs. It's absolutely amazing, and they have been on the show before. It's amazing how the kids just take to the dogs, and they could be sick, they could be hooked up to millions of pieces of equipment, but yet when that dog comes over, it's just like another world to them.
I think dogs are a very calming factor too, because I think kids or people, you could tell your troubles to them, and they just listen.
They listen. They definitely.
They're
do.
good listeners. So
Yeah. So we have about 3 minutes left. So let's have some advice from all of you for someone that wants a dog, or what the fun you've had with the dog, or anything like that.
My advice would be find a hypoallergenic dog if you have allergies like I do.
Okay.
There are hypoallergenic dogs, and poodle is a good breed. They don't shed. They don't have dander the way that other dogs do.
speaking of which, that's one of the things she's allergic to: human dander.
Human dander?
And dog dander.
I don't
I'm
think
not
I've
kidding
ever
you.
Really?
heard of that.
I'm not kidding you.
Huh.
That's the truth.
So
I told our
there's-
other dog, I said, Sammy, Gracie's allergic to us.
There's a dog for everyone, even people who are allergic to dogs.
And
That's
John,
right.
what would
And
you?
dogs that are allergic to dogs.
Yeah.
Well, I think you better be prepared to take the time and spend the time take the time with them that you would with any other family member
Right.
in your household, and just give them the love and support that they need, and be ready to be loved back.
Yeah, and you can
Well,
tell
yeah,
Bear
yeah.
definitely loves you. I mean, look at that face. He just
And they're a
loves it.
commitment too. I mean,
Definitely.
Dogs, depending on their age, can live. I had a dog that was 17 years old.
Ooh, that
My
is
last
old.
dog was 12 and a half. I've had, another dog that was 12, or I had him for 12 years, he was 14. So she's 8 and a half. So I think you have to keep that in mind too, the time factor, that if you're going to get one young, just know that you're probably going to have them for a while. So
Okay,
they're
well,
going to be part of your family. So.
That's good. Well, I want to thank all of you and your four-legged friends.
Yeah, they look real excited, don't
Yeah,
they?
they
Harry,
look
you've
about
really made
excited
an
with this show.
impression.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you, Bear, for being on the show. Yeah, I appreciate it.
And Gracie's got her back to you.
And
so.
Gracie's got her back, and poor Penny
Penny's not
doesn't
even
think
looking
very
at
much
you.
of
Go to sleep, huh?
Yeah.
Good
Well,
stands a reason.
Well, I think they've been very good for us, and it shows that they can behave, just like children. You take your time with them and discipline them. They do need disciplining,
Yeah, I
just
think-
like
Our
yeah.
kids,
And,
yeah, they need
so-
discipline. They need structure.
Yeah.
They need structure. They need to know what's expected of them, and that there's consequences.
Okay, well, thank everybody.
Thank you very
bringing
much
the
for having
dogs,
us.
And thank you for the dogs, and thank you for your advice.
Thank
And we'll
you.
see you next time on Let's
Thank
Pause.
you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
You can come over.